He has won it all for me. Death could not hold you down. You have won the victory. Woo! Good day, fellows. My name is Chamu. I just want to share a word of encouragement with someone across the world. I know we understand what we are going through. People are gripped in fear, the issue of lockdown, global lockdown. Things are changing, a lot of things are happening, and a lot of people are wondering whether when are these things going to end. But one thing that I know is the Bible says, count it all joy, brethren, when you fall into various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces your patience, and your patience bring forth hope, and hope does not fail. That is what the Bible says in James chapter 1. So as I was thinking today and taking some time to meditate upon the events that is happening, we hear there's a lot of things that are happening. We are hearing a lot of theories. We are searching for knowledge from different kinds of people from across all the divide. But one thing today that I started to realize was, of course, we are hearing reports from researchers, scientists. We are hearing researchers from data scientists. We are hearing researchers from all kinds of experts, technocrats, a lot of things. We are hearing a lot of information. But today I started to went through the Bible and find out and say, what does God say? When there was a time of crisis, how did other people who walked with God survive? And how did they survive the situations like this? So today I went through the Bible. I started to read 2 Corinthians chapter 12. Let me read 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 9 and 10. Apostle Paul was writing to the church at Corinth, and he said to them, for this thing I besought the Lord thrice, that it might depart from me. And he said to me, my grace is sufficient for thee. My strength is made perfect in weaknesses. Most gladly, therefore, I would rather glory in my infirmities, that the power of Jesus Christ may rest upon me. Therefore, I take pleasure in infirmities, in reproaches, in necessities, in persecution, in distresses, for Christ's sake. For when I am weak, then I am strong. I don't have to worry about a lot of things, because the Bible says His grace is sufficient for me. His grace is sufficient for you wherever you are across the world. God's grace is sufficient for you. So the Bible is saying, rather take pleasure in infirmities, in times of crisis like this, because God is working out something. God is perfecting something. A lot of things are happening. A lot of things are shifting in the spiritual realm. So today I just want to encourage someone and say, Paul was saying, he even went before God and pleaded when he said this thing must depart from him. He was saying he had a thorn in the flesh. I don't know what that thorn in the flesh was, but I may assume it was also a crisis which Paul was going through. But he said, I pleaded with God and said, this thing must depart from me. But God replied to him and said, my grace is sufficient for you. So today I want to tell someone and say, God's grace is sufficient for you. Even in the midst of the lockdown, in the midst of where children are not going to school, where schools are closed, where you are not going anywhere, you are not allowed to go out. A lot of things are happening. We're watching on news, whatever things that are happening. But the grace of God is sufficient for you. Let me conclude by saying I also went on to read the Bible on John chapter 1 verse 4. You know, the Bible says, in him was life, and that life was the light of men. It was talking about Jesus. So in a word, and the Bible went on to say in verse 5 and say, and then that light shined in darkness, and the world did not comprehend it. So in times like this, where in the times of darkness, where darkness is trying to overshadow everything, but the Bible says in him was life, and that life was the light of men. So Jesus is our light. He is in us. If Jesus is in you, you have got the light, and let that light shine. In the Bible even say, Jesus even himself, he was talking and saying, you are the light of the world. Let your light so shine, a light that is set upon a hill. So in times like this, we have got the light, and that light is the light of man. We can enlighten the whole world with the message of hope. We can light the whole world with the message of faith, and tell people that in the moments of crisis like this, count it all joy. Trust in God. Put your trust in God. Keep moving forward. Do not lose hope. Do not worry. The Bible says, do not be anxious for anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication, making your request known unto God. Hallelujah. He has won the victory. Death could not hold you down. Thank you. Have a blessed day. Thank you.